Hi there, it is Tracy Black of don'tmesswithmama.com, where we've got lots of great real food recipes and DIY tutorials to make natural living simple. So today what I wanted to show you to do is how to make a really easy bone broth. So I'm going to show you two ways to do it. The first is going to be in the Instant Pot and the other one's going to be in the slow cooker. So what is bone broth and why do you need it? So bone broth is, in a nutshell, similar to like a stock. So what you're going to do is you're going to cook bones and vegetables in water over a long period of time, typically about 24 hours in the slow cooker or about 4 hours in the Instant Pot. So what you can then do with that bone broth is you can use it to flavor soups, you can make chili. I basically find an excuse to use my bone broth in pretty much every recipe that I'm making throughout the week. And bone broth has so many health benefits. It has the amino acids, the collagen that you need for your skin and healthy joints. And your body just really loves to have that bone broth. It loves all the sort of gut nourishing nutrients that is in it. And so I'm going to show you how to do it with some simple hacks to save you time and to get all the gut nourishing nutrients out of the bones and the vegetables. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. So first, what you're going to need to do in your Instant Pot or your slow cooker is you're going to want to put in about 10 cups of water. My slow cooker doesn't quite take that much. I'm doing about 8 cups of water in my slow cooker. So you're going to do that, and then you're going to get some bones. So I've got some beef bones here. So these are like beef marrow bones, and you're just going to add it to the water. So you want generally about maybe 3 cups, 2 to 3 cups of bones, and this could be beef bones, it could be chicken bones. And here's what I do. This is my time-saving hack, is when I am cooking, I will save the bones that I use from cooking, and then I'll put it in a glass freezer-safe container, and I'll store it in the freezer. So I just kind of like throughout the week, will collect the bones that I use for my cooking, put it in that container, and then by the end of the week, I usually have quite a bit of bones in there. Sometimes it takes me 2 weeks to save it up. And then what I'll do is then save it and then just dump it into the Instant Pot or the slow cooker so that it's not me having to fuss with anything. I've already saved it and done all the work. So here's the other life-saving hack for making bone broth is when you've got your veggies, right? So I've got some celery, I've got carrot, onion is also a really good one. So with celery, the top of the celery stalk is the leaves, right? So there's lots of great flavor there. It's a little spicy. You can even use the root of the celery as well. I just cut off that part that's a little bit dirty, and then I'll use that and put all of that in. So all those vegetable scraps that you're using throughout the week, you keep it and do the same thing as your bones. You're gonna keep it in a freezer safe container, store it all in there, and then wait until you need it when you're making your bone broth. The other thing that I like to do with carrots is I'll cut off the tops of the carrots and I'll save the green leafy part. So I've already used mine in the slow cooker, and so I'm going to use the sort of main body of the carrot and the celery for this one. The other thing that I love to do is with onions. So when I use an onion for cooking, right, I'll sort of chop off the bottom and then I'll save the skins. So this is gold. This is bone broth gold right here. So you're going to want to save all of these veggie scraps. Again, put it in a bag or in a container and store it in the freezer. So by the end of a week or 2 weeks, you're going to have just sort of this big bag or big container full of vegetable scraps that you can use. You can even use, as you're peeling your carrots, you can even save the vegetable peels. I've done other things like the ribs from kale or from chard. I'll save sort of that root part, that sort of tough part from the rainbow chard, for instance. So you can save all those veggie scraps and put it in here into your bone broth. So I'm going to go ahead and put in my onions, put that in there, and then my secret ingredient that I love that gives it so much flavor and it's so good for you is garlic. So I went ahead and I peeled about 6 cloves of garlic here, and so that's what I'm going to put. You don't need to cut it or anything. You just go ahead and take the skin off and put that directly into the Instant Pot. My other secret weapon is a bay leaf. Again, gives it some really nice flavor. I also do peppercorns. So do about a tablespoon of peppercorns and add that in. Again, gives the bone broth so much flavor. Just a little bit of a spiciness, not too much where like kids couldn't actually, drink it, but it does give it some nice flavor. And then my other secret ingredient is raw apple cider vinegar. So you're gonna do about a tablespoon of raw apple cider vinegar into the bone broth, and it will not give the broth any flavor at all. It will not give it like a sour or any kind of vinegar flavor. Really what the vinegar is the acid from the vinegar will pull out the amino acids and all those sort of nutrients, vitamins and minerals from the bones, and then it will sort of, mix in with the broth itself. So you're basically using the acid from the vinegar to pull out all those nutrients. So that's really it. So simple, so easy. I saved up my bone scraps, I saved up my vegetable scraps, I added garlic, peppercorns, a bay leaf, and just about a tablespoon of vinegar. So that is it. So I'm going to go ahead and put on the top of my Instant Pot. And what you're going to do is you're going to put it on manual, high pressure, and you're going to cook it for about 120 minutes. There we go. And that's it. You're going to let it go. So the Instant Pot's going to beep one more time just to confirm that it's set at 120 minutes at high pressure. And then once that starts, it's going to take, there it went, it's going to take about 14 to 15 minutes to come to pressure, and then it will start cooking, and you'll see the timer kind of sort of count down to the 0. So it's going to go for 120 minutes. You're going to want to let it go for another 120 minutes. Just don't touch, let it come down to pressure. So basically what that means is once it hits that 120 minute mark, you're going to let it go for another 2 hours. So don't open the pressure release valve, leave it on, let it naturally depressurize and get all the flavor and juices in there going. So you can make bone broth and get it ready and have it ready for cooking in just about 4 hours. When you're using a slow cooker, you're going to want to put it on low heat and you're going to let it go for 24 hours. So the whole house is going to smell like bone broth. So you could actually get 2 going at the same time if you wanted to, but I love making it in Instant Pot because I often am running a little bit late with my recipes, and so I like the fact that I can have it ready in about 4 or 5 hours. So if you're good at planning ahead and you don't have an Instant Pot, go ahead and use a slow cooker. Again, put it on a low setting for 24 hours, but you're putting the same ingredients in there. So I would love to know, what is your favorite type of broth? Do you like to do both? Do you like to do chicken? Do you like to do beef? Do you like to do a mix of the two? Please comment. I would love to hear from you. And if you've got other ingredients that you love to put in your broth, please comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for tuning in.